welcome back to the home of the silver wreath. The Christmas tale we're going to read today is The First to Fly. Can you imagine what we'll be reading about? Who were the first to fly? Here's your answer. Have you ever wondered why Santa's reindeer can fly and the deer in the zoo cannot? Santa's reindeer are a very special kind of reindeer, or caribou, found only at the North Pole. Many years ago, long before Santa came to the North Pole, the people who lived there had very special reindeer. The mother reindeer was a standard European reindeer, and the father was a much smaller Arctic caribou. The new reindeer were much smaller than the mother and much stronger than the father. The first two reindeer of this kind were Jord and Odin, and they saved the North Pole. One year, the villagers had no food, so they asked Magni, the owner of Jord and Odin, to take his powerful reindeer south to find food. Magni traveled south over the frozen ice cap by sled for 3 days before he reached the end of the snow. He then left his sled and rode his reindeer for 4 more days until he found a village with enough grain to sell. Loaded with supplies, the 3 friends began their return home. They walked for 5 days to reach their sled. They walked slower since they were carrying such a load. Jord and Odin played while Magni tied all the supplies to the sled. Reindeer games. Not long after they reached their sleigh, it began to snow. And snow, and snow even harder. Magni, Jord, and Odin pushed on through the blizzard snow for 3 days without food because their travel supplies had run out. Magni and his reindeer friends were growing weak. He knelt in the snow to give them a hug around their necks. With his last ounce of energy, he begged them, "Please, get this grain home." His hug was so strong that it squeezed the necks of each of the reindeer. That squeeze released a tremendous and magical energy. Jord and Odin began running, with Magni barely holding on between them, one arm around the neck of each reindeer. Faster they ran, and faster until they were just barely touching the fresh fallen snow. They did not stop running until they reached Magni's cottage at the North Pole. Magni's wife found him and took him inside. She asked friends to take care of the reindeer and sled. One of the friends noticed with wonder that there were no tracks in the snow going down the road. The next day, after Magni had rested, he took his marvelous reindeer some delicious treats. They wanted to run. As soon as they left town, they lifted off the snow and flew over bushes and trees and logs. They were the very first reindeer to fly. Magni was so surprised, he thought his memory of their trip home was only a dream. Today, only special young reindeer have this unusual ability to fly. It comes from a spot growing in their neck. It will be noticeable when the reindeer are about 18 months old, and then only another flying reindeer can tell when the magic is ready to be released. The older reindeer will nuzzle the young reindeer's neck and release the young reindeer's power to fly. Only about 1 of 10 ever develops the ability to fly, and it takes a lot of practice. The magical reindeer which Santa uses to pull his sleigh are called Lentava Poro, and they fly all over the world all through the year. But they must always return to the magic of the North Pole. Merry Christmas from the North Pole and the Silver Wreath.